Hello, good day to you. My name is Bukumi Ajani, and I'll be talking about the IELTS test. The IELTS is an acronym that stands for the International English Language Testing System. It is managed by the British Council, by IDP, by Cambridge Assessment English, and also by IELTS Australia. The IELTS is designed to test a non-native speaker of English to test their level of English proficiency. So it goes from a continuum of a non-user to an expert user. The IELTS can be used for immigration purposes, can be used for academic purposes or for professional purposes. So we have the general training test, we have the academic test, and we have the UKVI test, which is for immigration to the UK. The academic IELTS is for those who want to apply to universities and colleges to further their studies, but they are non-native speakers of English. They are going to English-speaking countries for their education. The general training is for professional purposes, those going for to work or for immigration purposes. The IELTS is widely accepted in Canada, in the UK, in Australia, and even many universities in the United States. The IELTS is designed as a band score. There's no minimum score, but most schools require that you have at least a 6.5 out of 9. It shows your level of English proficiency. So today I'll be talking about the sections in IELTS, and I'll focus on the listening section particularly. So there are 4 sections in the general training and the academic training. The major difference between these two variants of the exam is in the content, and the timing is the same, the grading is the same, but the reading section, the reading comprehension passages usually given for this to test vary, and also the writing section, there's a different format for that. So the major thing about the IELTS is understanding the structure. It's a standardized test, so it's something you can practice and get a grasp of. So there's the listening section, there's the reading section, there's the writing section, and there's the speaking section. And the total duration of the exam is about 2 hours and some minutes. The listening section is for 30 minutes, but it depends on what version you are writing, whether you are writing a computer-based exam or a paper-based exam. So for the paper-based exam, the test is 30 minutes, and then they give you an extra 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the paper. But for computer-based, it is 30 minutes. The reading section is an hour, the writing section is also an hour, and then finally the speaking should range from about 11 minutes to 40 minutes depending on the conversation you are having with the interviewer. So I'm going to be focusing on the listening section today. For the listening section, we have 4 sections. So like I said, it is 30 minutes or 40 minutes if you're writing the paper-based exam. And each of these 4 sections have different requirements. The 4 sections have 10 questions each. So we have section 1 to section 4, each with 10 questions. And this is just a conversation between English speakers. And so you have to pay attention to the accents used. You have to get familiar with Australian, Canadian, the UK accent. You can listen to news or listen to broadcast stations to get familiar with the accent, because you have to hear what they are saying and type your answers. So it's usually a fill in the gap format. Sometimes you have to drag answers to particular questions. There are different structures, but basically the section 1 of the listening section is a conversation between two speakers, native English speakers. Section 1 and section 2 are everyday situations, real life situations that happen. And section 3 and section 4 are conversations that happen in an educational or a professional setting. So section 1 is between two native speakers. It could be somebody asking for directions to a place, somebody trying to book a flight or trying to book an accommodation. So you just listen to this conversation between these two people. Section 2 is also an everyday setting, but it's a conversation between that happens just one person. It's just one person that is talking. It might be giving a talk or a seminar, but it's about an everyday situation. Section 3 and 4, as I said earlier, is conversations that happen in educational or professional settings. So it's still the same format. Section 3 is between two people. There might be graduate students having an educational discussion, or a professor talking to the supervisee. Then section 4 is one person. It could be a professor giving a seminar, a presentation, or a talk, but it's an educational or professional talk. So the thing to note about the listening test, very important, you hear the recording just once. It's not going to be replayed. So you have to pay attention as they are talking. But you also get to have a paper and a pencil so you can write down answers. But before the exam, before the section starts, for instance, before section 1 starts, they tell you about the the setting. They tell you about the speakers, and then they give you time to go through the sections, the 10 questions that are in that section before the recording starts. So you choose to start the recording when no, I think it's timed actually. It starts, and then you just get to listen just once, and you type your answers as it goes. But the interesting thing is that the recording follows the questions. So it's not like it's shuffled or anything. So you can, after each statement that requires an answer is given, then comes the next. So the recording follows the question. It is arranged in that way, and I think that is very helpful. So that's that about the listening section and a basic introduction to the IELTS test. Thank you.